Welcome students. Last class we studied about execution or program flow of instruction. Flow of instruction in a program. Execution of instruction in a program is classified into three types. They are sequential execution, selection execution, and iterative execution. Sequential means statements that are executed one after the other. Selection means we will give a condition. If the condition true, one set of statement will be executed. If the condition false, another set of statement will be executed. Third type is iterative statement. That means statements which are executed repeatedly until the specified condition becomes false. If the condition false, it stops the execution. If the condition true, it will be repeatedly executed. So this is the execution of program statement, the flow of execution of the program statement. And we studied about that our selection statements. The simple selection statement used in Python is if statement. We done two programs by using simple if statement. You can use if statement in different format. What we studied is simple if statement. And we can do two more programs by using if statement itself. See the first question. Write a program to input the basic salary of an employee. There you have to input the basic salary and calculate TA as the 5% of the basic salary, DA as 3% of the basic salary, PF as 4% of the basic salary. Calculate gross salary as basic salary plus DA plus TA. Net salary as gross salary minus PF. If the net salary is greater than 15,000, then calculate tax as 2% of the net salary. It is just a simple calculation. Just a simple calculation question. You have to input the basic salary. See that you have to input the basic salary. Accept the basic salary from the user. Using the input statement, you have to accept the basic salary. And you have to calculate lot of things. What are things you want to calculate? TA, DA, PF. So the percentage is given there. You know how to calculate the percentage. So 3% of the basic salary, 5% of the basic salary. So that means how will you calculate 3% of 10? How will you calculate 3% of 20? 20 into 3 by 100. How can you calculate 3% of or 30% of 100? 30% of 100, how can you calculate? 100 into 30 by 100. So this is the way you can calculate the 5%, 3% and 4%, all these things. And after that, you have to calculate the gross salary as basic salary plus DA plus TA. Just see, what is a TA? TA. Did you heard about that word? You can ask your parents, what is this TA? Those are working parents. So TA means travel allowance. DA means dearness allowance. These are the different types of allowance, these are different types of components along with the salary. Salary components are these things. So, okay. So now just read the question 2 or 3 times. Get an idea about that question. What is the input for the program? What are the output for the program? What are the things you have to calculate? Now, I am going to start the program here. Python screen is already opened. This is script mode. See, I told you always when you write the program, you have to begin the program with a comment statement. So, it's a lengthy program. So, and the question is also lengthy. I am going to use multi-line comment statement, single quote, triple single quote. So, you have to input basic salary. Input basic salary. Then calculate DA, TA, PF, DA, TA, PF. Okay, these are the things calculate. And again is there gross salary, net salary, net salary, and tax also. So these are the things you have to calculate, and the comment statement must end with a single quote with 3 times, triple times to single quote. So this is just a comment statement. I told you have to begin the program with a comment statement, and comment statement is a short description of your question. And here the first thing you have to input the basic salary. I am going to input the basic salary. The basic salary is stored in the variable basic. My variable name is basic. So always when you select the variable name, select a variable which is suitable for the input. Here I am inputting the basic salary. So this is why I just took the variable name as basic. Base is equal to, it's a number, so you have to convert it into integer. Now this will be input enter basic salary. Enter basic salary. Yes, the message. That's the message. Now you input the basic salary. Next, lot of things you have to calculate. First, you have to calculate DA. One more time, just go through the question. I just forgot about the percentage part. So TA 5%, DA 3%, PF 4%. 5, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 3, 4. TA. I'll start it. So first I'm going to calculate TA. So TA equal to, you can use any variable name. Here I am calculating the TA, so that's why I am using the variable TA. TA is 5% of the basic salary. So I can write basic salary is there in the variable basic. Is it right? Is it right? So your basic salary you accepted and stored in the variable basic. So I can write basic into 5 divided by 100. So the bracket I didn't open there. So basic into 5 divided by 100. So that is the way you can calculate the TA. Next you have to calculate DA. DA equal to, again you have to calculate basic into 3 divided by 100. See, I told you, based on the precedence you have to form the expression. Basic into 3 by 100. When we say in mathematical terms, basic into 3 by 100 means which will be done first? Basic into 3 will be done first. After that, divide by 100. So that is why just put basic into 3 inside the bracket. 5, 3. So what is the next percentage? Next percentage is 5, 3 and PF is 4%. Yes, PF is 4%. Now I am going to calculate PF. PF is equal to, it is again basic into 3% divided by 100. So it is not 3, it is 4%. It is 4% into 100. See, you check it whether you understood or not. Basic salary, that is the input, and 3 different things you calculated: TA, DA, PF. What is the full form of PF? PF, Provident Fund. So TA, DA, PF, that is travel allowance, dearness allowance, and Provident Fund. So all these things you calculated there. So based on the basic salary, it depends upon the question, you calculated all these things. And you have to calculate the gross salary. The next thing you have to calculate gross salary. So I am going to write the variable name gross is equal to, how can you calculate the gross salary? Is given in the question. Basic salary plus DA plus TA. Basic salary you stored in the variable basic. So basic plus DA you stored inside the variable DA itself. And TA you stored in the variable TA. So that is given in the question. You done the same thing. So just check the variable. What's the variable you use there? The same variable you have to use it in the program also. Remaining part of the program. Next you have to calculate the net salary. So I am going to use net salary, net sal equal to. So its equation is given there. Net salary is gross salary minus PF. That is given in the question. So gross salary. Where you calculated the gross salary? Gross salary is stored in the variable gross. Gross minus PF. Gross minus PF. Now you calculate the net salary. So gross salary minus PF will give you the net salary. So whatever you needed, everything you calculated. And in the given the question, it is mentioned that if the net salary is greater than 15,000, if net salary is greater than 15,000, you have to calculate the tax as 2% of the net salary. How will you check whether it is net salary is greater than 15,000? How can you check? See, this is only a variable. We don't know what is the value inside that variable. We have to check whether the net salary is greater than 15,000. How can you check? Which statement you will use for checking? Yes, we will use the condition part, conditional statement or a selection statement if. If, how can you write the statement? Net sal greater than or equal to 15,000, greater than or equal to 15,000. Yes, that is the condition part given in the question. If the net salary is greater than 15,000, then colon. Condition always followed with a colon. So net salary greater than or equal to 15,000, colon, press the enter key. The cursor is coming over there. When you press the enter key, cursor will come on the indentation part. Here the indentation part is this one. Now, if the net salary is greater than 15,000, 2% of the tax you have to calculate. Tax as the 2% of the net salary. So I am going to calculate tax is equal to 2 into net salary. Net salary is 2%. 2 into net salary, the whole divided by 100. 2 into net salary divided by 2% of the net salary, which is given in the question. So 2% of the net salary. Now that much you calculated. So only the calculation part is finished now. Only the calculation part. Now, if the net salary is greater than 15,000, then you are calculating the tax. Otherwise, there is no tax at all. So otherwise, I am not doing anything over there. If the net salary is greater than 50,000, you calculate the tax. After that, I am going to print that tax. And then only you can see the value. Otherwise, you cannot see there. It will not display on the screen. So I am going to display that on the screen. Tax. Sorry. It will be tax. Tax is, how much is the tax? Tax is stored inside the variable tax itself. So if net salary greater than 50,000, then only you are calculating the tax. Then only you want to display the tax. So that is why I just written the print statement under this indentation. I didn't written the print statement on the left side. I just written the print statement under this indentation. That is because if the net salary is greater than 50,000, then only you are calculating the tax. If you are calculating the tax, then only you want to display it. Otherwise, no value for the tax at all. So the otherwise part is we are not calculating anywhere. So if the net salary is greater than 15,000, you are calculating and displaying. That is why the line is coming under that indentation. Now, at the same time, you have to display your TA, DA, PF, gross salary and net salary. All these things you have to display. So I am going to display that one. You can display just down or here. I am going to it's easy for you to understand. That is why I am typing over here. I am going to display print. What is the first thing you calculated? You calculated is travel allowance. Travel allowance. How much is the travel allowance you calculated and stored in which variable? Your variable is GF. Next, print. Allowance. Earnest allowance. It's calculated and stored in which variable? DA. It is DA. Next, print. Next is you calculate provident fund. Provident fund. Provident fund, and which is stored inside the variable PF. Next, calculated gross salary. Print salary, which is stored inside the variable. Proper variable, use it over there. Gross. Same thing you can do for the net salary also. So it is P small letter. Same thing you try for the net salary also. Display the net salary here. I'll do that one Otherwise you will be confused there. Print net salary is your variable name net sal. Net sal is the variable name. Go through the program one more time. I'll show you the program. The first line is indented statement. Sorry, first line is comment statement. After that you accept the basic salary. Basic salary is stored in the variable basic. You calculated TA, DA, PF, gross and net salary. All these things calculated. And you just display all the calculated value. Whatever you calculated, everything you display. After that, you are checking whether the net salary is greater than 15,000. You are checking whether the net salary is greater than 15,000. If it is greater than 15,000, then you are calculating the tax and you are displaying there also. See that net salary is greater than 15,000. If the condition true, then you are calculating the tax. After that, you are displaying the tax. So see the indentation lines. These two lines are coming under the if statement. That is why I wrote over there the indentation part. I think all of you understood. Now I'll run this program and see the output. I am going to give the basic salary as it is sample 11. Sample 11. Basic salary. I am going to give the basic salary as 13,000. Now press the enter key. When you press the enter key, see that it is calculating travel allowance, dearness allowance and provident fund and gross salary. And there is an error is there, name error. See that error is coming over there in the program. Name, net sal is not defined. Net sal is not defined. Check it. See that net sal equal to, here I just use the net sal N as capital letter. And here what I use there, it is small letter. See the difference. There I use the capital letter and here I use the small letter. That is why it's showing the error message. There is no variable named net sal with a small letter is not used in the program. That is why it's showing the error message. I'll change that into capital N. Now here also instead of the small letter you have to use capital letter. Now the condition part also your net sal capital N you have to use it because I use the capital N over there. Understood? Why the mistake came over, why the error is came over there? Now try to run the program one more time. I'll run the program one more time. See the output. I'm going to give the output, input as 13,500. Calculated travel, dearness, provident, gross and net salary. And it didn't display the tax. Why? Can you say why it is not displaying the tax? See that my condition is net salary is greater than 15,000. Here the net salary is only 14,000. It is not greater than 50,000. So that is why here that tax part is not displaying there. I will change the value. See, when you run this program, instead of giving 13,000, I am going to give 14,000, 14,500. See that it is calculating the tax also. So there, that net salary is more than 15,000. See that 15,000 more than 15,000. That is why it is calculated the tax. So this is a simple program. You just think about the program, then you will get an idea how to do the program. One more time, I'll show you the program from the beginning. Basic, all these things calculated and you displayed everything. After that, you are checking the net salary condition, then you are calculating the tax. That is all about that program. Now we can see the next program. I think all of you understood the previous program. That is why I am starting the next program here. Second program, question number 2. So here the question number 2 is this one, not the next one. Here the question number 2 is here. This is not 1, it is 2. Write a program to input a number. Write a program to input a number. Can you say what is the input of this program? Number. What should be accepted? Let accept a number. Okay. Then and check. Check it is positive. And you have to check it is a positive number or not. Or negative or 0. There are three conditions are there. You want to check whether it is a positive number, or it is a negative number, or it is a 0. How can you check it is a positive number? All the positive numbers are greater than 0. All the negative numbers are less than 0. So your condition, you have to check it whether it is positive, negative or 0. Three different conditions. What do you want to input? You have to input a number. I'll start the program here. So these things you have to keep it in mind. What all inputs are needed and what all things should be calculated. I will write the comment statement. Input a number. Input a number and check positive, negative or 0. See that? It's a short description of the program. This is the way you can write a comment statement. It's just a short description. You should get from that description, any user should get an idea about what the program is doing. Now we have to input a number. I am going to input a number. So a equal to int input enter a number. Enter a number. Int input enter a number. So a number is stored inside the variable a. And I told you how will you check a number is positive. You have to check whether it is greater than 0. I am going to check if. If statement is used to check the condition. If a greater than 0, colon. If a greater than 0 means it is a positive number. Yes, I can say given number is positive. Given number is positive. That is all about that one. Now I want to check it is a negative. So you are inputting a number, checking it is a positive. If it is a positive, it is displaying the message. Next thing, you want to check it is a negative. What is the condition? You want to check whether it is a negative means check it less than 0. See, I am going to write the condition. See the place where I written the condition. Condition I am writing on the left side, not under the indentation. It is not under the indentation of the first if. I am starting a next if, second if. So the condition a less than 0. A less than 0. You can do this program by using another method. So that topic is we didn't cover. That's why I am using this method. Yes, a less than 0. So when you press the enter key, cursor is coming on the proper indentation part and you type in given number is negative. Given number is negative. And you want to check it. So this is only positive condition, negative condition. One more condition is there. You want to check whether this number is a 0. So I am going to check if a. How will you check the given number is 0? You want to check whether the given number equal to 0. Check whether the given number is 0. So which operator? Double equal to. Double equal to is used to check whether the left side equal to right side. Left side is a and the value of a is equal to 0 or not. So it is 0. You are checking whether a is 0. A is the number which you accepted from the user and checking whether the content of a is 0 or not. If it is 0, you are writing the print statement in proper indentation. Given number is 0. Given number is 0. See, this is all about that question. You just run the program, give the input, you will get an output. See, I am going to run the program. So here 3 different if statement I used. Instead of one if statement, multiple if statement you can use it over there in your program. Any number of if statement you can use in your program. I am going to run this program. See, it is sample 12. Sample 12. So you have to give continuous numbering. And it is easy for you to check the questions in your program. Now, it is 67. Yes, the given number is positive. You give a negative, run the same program. Give a negative number, it shows the proper message. Give 0 as the input, it will give you a proper message. So that is all about that program. Simple question. I am just using 3 different if statements. Instead of using one if statement, I just use 3 different if statements. Now, see the next question in the program. What is the next question? Again, write a program to input a number. Input a number. It input a number. Question is clear. Check it is an even number or not. Check it is an even number or not. See, how will you check a number as even? Math students can say, science students can say, how will you check a number is even? Simple thing. All the even numbers must be divisible by 2. All the even numbers must be divisible by 2. That means when you take the remainder after dividing the given number with 2, divide the given number with 2, take its remainder. How much will be the remainder if it is an even number? What will be the answer if it is an even number? How much will be the remainder after dividing the given number with 2? It will be 0. If it is an even number, it must be divisible by 2. If a number is divisible by 2 means the remainder is always 0. Is it correct? Is it right? One more time I will say. Even number means it must be divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2 means the remainder after dividing the number with 2 will be 0. The number you are dividing with 2, take its remainder. If the remainder is 0, then it is even number. Then we can do it. See that I am going to do the same program here. I am going to do the same program. I just start a new program here, new file. Input a number and check it. Check it is even. Check it is even. That is a question. I am going to input the number. Number is stored inside the variable a. And what do you want to do? You want to check. You want to take the remainder after dividing the given number with 2. Take the remainder after dividing the given number with 2. I am going to divide. The given number is a. Divide it with 2. Take the remainder. Which is the remainder sign? Remainder sign is 2. A percentage. With 2. A percentage 2 will give you the remainder. That remainder I am going to store inside the variable b. Did you understood? You are dividing a with 2 and you are taking remainder. That is why you use the percentage sign there. So we will get the remainder after dividing a with 2. So you are dividing with 2. So you are expecting the remainder as either 0 or 1. If it is an odd number, you will get 1 as the remainder. If it is an even number, you will get 0 as the remainder. So the remainder will be there in the variable b. And I told you, if the number is even, then the remainder will be 0. If you have any doubt, you can ask your maths teacher. If the remainder of a even number after dividing with 2 will be, is it 0 or not? Okay, so don't go and ask. It's a simple thing. Okay, so your remainder will be there in the variable b. Now I am to check whether b equal to 0. B equal to 0. If b equal to 0 means the remainder is 0. If the remainder is 0 means you can display the given number is even. See that the given number is even. Run the program, see the output. And you give an odd number also. Will you get any output or not? You won't get any output because that part is done in the program. Only the even number is done in the program. So you will get only the answer for even numbers. So this is all about the even number checking. Now I think all of you understood these things. It's clear for you. Next question. Next question is this one. Program to input a number, check it is divisible by 5 and give a proper message. What do you want to do? You want to check it is divisible by 5. If the number is divisible by 5, then the remainder will be, if any number divisible by something, then the remainder must be 0. If a number 15 is divisible by 5, 15 is divisible by 5, so what is the remainder? Remainder will be 0. 20 is divisible by 5. Yes, so it is remainder will be 0. 20 divided by 5, 5 fours are 20, so remainder will be 0. If any number divisible by something, then the remainder will be 0. Here you have to check whether it is divisible by 5 or not. I am going to give this as a homework. Try to do it by yourself. Try to do it in the Python screen itself and check whether you are getting the answer or not. You give a number which is divisible by 5. You give a number which is not divisible by 5. Using if statement, try out these things. And the fifth program also, there is simple program, perimeter of a rectangle you have to calculate. You know the equation. Perimeter, how to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle. And circumference of a circle also. Circumference of a circle you can calculate by 2 pi r. R is the radius. You have to accept the radius and using the equation 2 pi r you can calculate the circumference. So these 3 questions you do it as a homework. And the remaining you will try out by yourself. Copy down in your notebook also. Okay. Remaining thing you can study in next class. Thank you.